What's happening is just insane. Listen to these. Jasmine Crockett now removed from Congress after threatening First Lady Melania at Doge hearing. Jasmine Crockett now removed from Congress after threatening First Lady Melania Trump at hearing. Ejected from Congress. Representative Al Green, deep in the heart of Texas, removed from joint session of Congress. And she's finally removed from Congress. Conservative Network reports just moments ago as Democrats scream as Ilhan Omar is removed from Congress, and the news movement said Ilhan Omar removed from Congressional committee. And after this violent threat to Trump and white people, according to the real A-Dog, with almost 1 million subscribers, so you know it must be true if he's saying it, right? But does this signal that white people are actually under attack? And let me know, how many of you all watch Richard Fain?
In 1 week, I have seen in my city, black men power washing parking lots, black men doing roofing work, black men doing lawn services around businesses in my city. Things are starting to look like the old days again. Black Man Thoughts 2.0, and I'm out. Peace.
But did you hear what he just said? And how he describes America, his town that he lives in after ICE raids, and how in just 1 week he's seen in his city black men power washing parking lots, black men doing roofing work, black men doing lawn services around businesses. In his city, which I'm not really sure what city that is exactly, things are starting to look like the old days again. Type your city in the comments and tell me if you're seeing the same after 1 week. And speaking of hometowns, AOC is embarrassing herself, but breaks silence only to reveal just how much of a moron or how low her IQ really is.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bronx. This is where AOC says she's from. And this is where AOC is actually from. Welcome to Yorktown, the business hamlet of Yorktown Heights. There's mansions everywhere. It's beautiful, it's green, it's pristine, it's clean. And they even have a Christopher Columbus Society. I thought AOC got all those statues ripped down. Some structural racism right here in AOC's hometown.
But wait, there's more. And dare I say, an even bigger moron with an even lower IQ.
There are things we can fool with and things we can't. Healthcare is one of those things that you shouldn't be able to fool with. And insurance companies who you pay, I pay into my insurance, you pay into your insurance. I don't understand. If I don't go to the hospital for a whole year, where's my money? Why don't you give me the money back? Then you don't have to worry about it. Because I feel like, you know, I said this, okay.
We got Bill coming on.
I know we got Bill coming.
Wow. I really just don't know what to say about that. But like the Color Purple actor said, bills to pay. And after 16 hours, Senate clerks finally finished reading the one big, beautiful bill. But despite demanding that the entire thing be read, Senator Chuck Schumer did not even stick around to listen to it. Instead, he went home to sleep while the clerks stayed up all night. What a freaking jerk. And while we're on the topic of, watch and listen to this.
What does this bill do? It kicks 16 million people off their health care. 16 million people off their health care. In order to finance tax cuts for the wealthiest, in order to give multimillionaires a $400,000 tax cut, that doesn't make the world a better place. Adding $4 trillion in debt, $1 trillion of it is interest, which is going to make mortgage rates go up. It's going to make harder for young people to be able to maybe get their first house or pay their rent. It's putting it on their backs. It's putting it on their shoulders. That's why I don't see this as a big, beautiful bill. I see this as a big, beautiful betrayal of the hardworking people of this country.
And notice how these Democrats lie with using clever wordplay and manipulation, just like AOC and Zohan. But here, Senator Amy Klobuchar, who survived a tampon Timmy assassination attempt from Minnesota, says the big, beautiful bill kicks 16 million people off of U.S. healthcare. But notice how she doesn't say Americans. That's because many of these people she's talking about are illegals. The rest are just freeloaders, and Klobuchar seemingly only wants to reward the worst people that Biden and Kamala let into this country. Senator Amy Klobuchar is in tears because her dad might not have his Medicaid, but notice how she never said he didn't have it. Full stop. President Trump said that people on Medicaid legitimately are not going to lose it. Come on, Amy. You can do better than that.
You know, border crossings are at a record low. Do you give the Trump administration some credit for that? And are you, when you look at those figures, do you think things are moving in the right direction, at least in that regard, Senator?
No, I don't give them credit for that because border crossings are low because they're violating the law every day.
You see what I'm talking about? Tell me, do you see how they do? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems clear how Democrats are furious that President Trump is getting illegal immigrant killers, rapists, and gangbangers off of our streets, but will lie on national TV and say, no, they won't give credit to President Trump and his administration for border crossings being at a record low.
So much, President Trump. Illegal crossings in the border are zero now.
Zero. Does everyone hear that? Zero.
Trump 2028.
Do you intend, President Trump?
Who's that guy? I like him. He's working the cameras.
With this new reality, President Trump, in the border, do you intend to engage personally with leaders from South America, not only Central America, in order to tackle this situation in a real way? And if you have a perspective of meeting some presidents from South America, as Brazil, for example.
Well, you see, as an example, not South America, but NATO over the weekend. They have great respect for our country now. They did things that nobody thought was possible. They took funding from 2% to 5%. Nobody thought they'd ever pay the 2%, and now they're paying the 5%. It's over $1 trillion more a year. Think of that, $1 trillion. Nobody thought that could happen. That's a different group of people, different countries. But we get along with a lot of countries. We are respected again.
And I want to talk more about healthcare and, more importantly, share the truth, which is why you're here, right? And calmly talk about it, have a conversation, which I know you love to do. And let's just cut through the noise and get to the facts about Medicare, because there's so much confusion out there. And I want you to be empowered with the knowledge that you need to make the best decisions for your future. First, let's talk about the legal side of Medicare and who must have it. If you're 65 or older, Medicare is a federal health insurance program you're eligible for, and it's critical to enroll on time to avoid lifelong penalties. Yep, that's right, lifelong penalties. If you don't sign up for Medicare Part B when you're first eligible, typically at age 65 during your enrollment period, your initial enrollment period, you could face a 10% penalty on your Part B premium for each full 12-month period you delayed enrollment without other qualifying coverage, like employer insurance, for example. This penalty sticks with you for as long as you have Medicare. But for Part A, if you're not eligible for premium-free coverage, delaying enrollment can increase your premium by 10% for twice the number of years you could have signed up but didn't. And so, for example, if you wait 2 years, you'll pay a higher premium for 4 years. Ouch. And so let me know in the comment section, what month were you born in? Just type that down below. And the initial enrollment period is a 7-month window. 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month of your birthday, and 3 months after. But miss it, and you're stuck waiting for the general enrollment period from January 1 to March 31 each year, with coverage starting the month after you enroll. And those penalties piling up. Has this happened to anyone? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's clear up some common misconceptions about Medicare, okay? One big myth is that once you're on Medicare, all your healthcare costs are covered and you're set for life. Not quite. Medicare Parts A and B cover hospital and outpatient services, but they come with deductibles, co-insurance, and copays. Many folks need supplemental plans like Medigap or Medicare Advantage to fill those gaps, which can add up fast. Another misconception is that you don't need to enroll in Medicare if you're still working at 65. If you have employer coverage through a company with 20 or more employees, you might be able to delay Part B without penalties, but you must confirm this with your employer, or you could face those costly penalties we discussed earlier. And don't think Medicare automatically enrolls you if you're not on Social Security yet. You have to actively sign up if you're not receiving benefits. Finally, some folks believe Medicare Part D, which covers prescription drugs, is optional and not worth it. But skipping it without other drug coverage can lead to a late enrollment penalty, increasing your premiums by 1% per month you went without coverage. Here's where my friends at Chapter come in. And let me tell you, they are absolutely phenomenal. Chapter is 100% free for you to call right now. Yes, completely free, no strings attached. The number's on your screen, 270-467-2426. Dial it, and you'll connect with a team that's dedicated to helping you navigate Medicare and save thousands. And why does this matter so much? Well, let's talk about the truth of what seniors are facing today. And let me know if any of this applies to you. Over 60% of seniors live on fixed incomes, with nearly 40% of those relying on Social Security, essentially living paycheck to paycheck. With the rising cost of living, think groceries, utilities, and healthcare, stubborn inflation, and the Fed chair holding interest rates steady, it's squeezing our wallets tighter than ever. President Trump is fighting for us, but we've got to do our part to save every penny we can, right? And that's where Chapter shines, folks. Chapter's honest team of highly trained professionals has already helped people just like you save thousands on their Medicare plans. Can you imagine putting thousands back into your pocket right now? What would you do with that life-changing money? Fix that broken air conditioner in this scorching summer heat? Perhaps maybe stock up your pantry, replace those bald tires on your car maybe, or put some money away for a rainy day, or even invest in gold, silver, or crypto like Bitcoin or XRP. The possibilities are endless, and it all starts with one free call to Chapter. Pick up the phone now and call 270-467-2426. Find out how much you can save today. There's no risks, no costs, and nothing to lose, only discovering money to gain. Oh, and did I mention it's free? Don't wait any longer, folks. Don't delay. Call now before it's too late. And after you call, drop a comment below and let me know how Chapter helped you and what you do with those huge savings. Don't wait. Call 270-467-2426.
On health care and betraying a promise. It is inescapable that this bill in its current form will betray the very promise that Donald J. Trump made in the Oval Office or in the cabinet room when I was there with finance, where he said we can go after waste, fraud, and abuse on any programs. Now, those amateurs that are advising him, not Dr. Oz, I'm talking about White House healthcare experts, refuse to tell him that those instructions that were to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse all of a sudden eliminates a government program that's called the provider tax. We have morphed a legal construct that admittedly has been abused and should be eliminated into waste, fraud, and abuse.
And this just happened. Breaking. Senator Tom Tillis goes haywire from North Carolina, screaming nonsense and BS on President Trump's bill after announcing retirement and slamming Trump's staff. But How many of you think Tillis is a rhino anyway? and folks, this is where I leave you. Please be well and stay alert. You all are smart, intelligent people if you're still watching now, and I want you to pay very close attention to what's being said here.
What did you make of the New York Democrat primary? Mamdani.
He's a communist. I think it's very bad for New York. I don't know that he's going to get in. It's inconceivable that but he's a communist, and he's a pure communist. I think he admits it, but I can't imagine it. But let's say this. If he does get in, I'm going to be president, and he's going to have to do the right thing, or they're not getting any money. He's got to do the right thing. It's shocking that I would have assumed that I used to say we will never have a socialist in this country. No, but we'll have a communist. I mean, he's a communist and going to be mayor of New York. So I was very surprised when I said, I never heard of him. I don't know who he is.
Well, he said he's going to fight ICE. He's not going to allow ICE to...
He'll be very unsuccessful.
And he said if Benjamin Netanyahu comes to New York, he's going to have him arrested.
Oh, he's a radical left lunatic.
And Kyle Seraphin, podcaster, whistleblower, recovering FBI agent, husband, dad, gun guy, sharing on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and more, says, this is verified, true. Quoting an ex-post from Amari King that says, check the date. This POS tweeted this when the Challenger exploded. Warning everyone, NYC is cooked. And Zohan Mdani posted this on January 28th saying, LMAO, the shuttle just exploded. Eat shit, America. But this is just worse than Jasmine Crockett and how the real A-Dog says, finally removed from Congress after this violent threat to Trump and white people. And look at this. Stick with me here, folks. But the website of NYC mayoral frontrunner says he'll shift the tax burden to whiter neighborhoods. And when asked about his openly racist agenda, Zohran Mamdani insists it's not a proposal at all, but rather, and I quote, a description of what we see right now.
Went on your website and realized there's a policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. Explain why you are bringing race into your tax proposal.
That is just a description of what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed. We've seen time and again that this is a property tax system that is inequitable. It's one that actually Eric Adams ran on saying that he would change in the first 100 days. He's since sought to defend it and lost at every juncture in court.
And I understand you're saying we're simply describing the types of neighborhoods that would see these increase in taxes. And yet by invoking race, do you run the risk of potentially alienating key constituents?
I think I'm just naming things as they are. And ultimately, the thing that motivates me in this is to create a system of fairness. It is not to work backwards from a racial assessment of neighborhoods or our city. Rather, it's to ensure that we actually have an equal playing field. And right now, what we see with the property tax system is one that is overtaxing a number of New Yorkers and undertaxing others, and an inability of political will to resolve that.
So no plans to change that language on your website?
The focus here is to actually ensure a fair property tax system, and that the use of that language is just an assessment of the neighborhood.
All right. You are a
Oh my God. Come on. That's next level gaslighting if I've ever seen it. Or is it?
I got to leave it there. Nobody's going to be able to walk Manhattan after he defunds the New York City Police Department, Maria. I wouldn't advise walking Manhattan after he gets rid of the police force.
Just to jump in, Mamdani. Just to jump in. Hold on. Mamdani advocated for defunding NYPD in 2020. He's since said his goal is reform, not defunding.
Exactly.
And then also just
you guys are doing that again. It's the old Harris playbook.
Just one more thing. Point of order. He just said he didn't want to tax white people specifically, just higher income neighborhoods that do happen to be majority white.
He literally wrote it in his statement, Omar. He literally wrote it down. Are you letting him get off the hook with it?
No, I am saying that he said that, but not on the basis of race specifically. I'm not saying he didn't say that. He did say that,
okay,
but not on the basis of race specifically. Scott.
And don't miss a thing, folks. Be sure to check out the links below And at the bottom of the description, there's an opt-in for my free newsletter, and you're more than welcome to join if you'd like and get the latest updates and an invitation to exclusive events, including my free mastermind. Thanks for watching. And if you liked the video, let me know and subscribe.